Hello, people of the world! Let's talk about issue number 4 of Exodus. This is a Class Comics title that was written and drawn by David Cantero. I've already done reviews on issues numbers 1 through 3. Check them out on my YouTube channel, which I'll put a link in the description down below. But to give you a little bit of a recap, this comic book takes place on a mythological world where there are gods and goddesses, all of which are very petty and take advantage of the human race, which is pretty much like all mythological gods. This story centers around the protagonist of Eurybatos, who's a badass mercenary fighter, and his Twinkie boy toy lover, Alcyonius, who's also a magic user. In the previous issue, Eurybatos and some other mercenaries were called back by their queen to fight against some very horny zombies, and it ended in a cliffhanger of Eurybatos and Alcyonius both being captured by a very pissed off dragon. This issue starts up immediately where that one left off. Alcyonius, being that he is a magic user, tries a teleportation spell that he's not used to. This transports both of them to the city of Tarkan, which this is even worse because the leader of Tarkan, the Duke of Tarkan, pits Eurybatos in a gladiatorial arena against other people, and Alcyonius is going to be sacrificed to the gods.
Poor Al, he has had it rough since the first issue.
Luckily though for Eurybatos, he's able to befriend some of the other gladiators who happen to be humanoid animals.
I would love to be able to uncrop this image and show it.
They themselves are in a rebellion against the Duke, and this kind of leads up into a big epic battle. It really doesn't feel like things are going so well for our protagonist in this story.
Oh my god, look at that arch. That is perfect.
But the story is long from being over, and at the end of this issue, it does end on a bit more of a positive note.
Poor Ryu. He was probably my favorite out of all of the animal humanoids.
This issue is a digital comic book, and it's available in 2 different editions. The standard edition, which just has the story itself, and then of course the deluxe edition that has a few extras, such as some pinup art at the end of the story, some rough sketches from David Cantero so you can follow along as he was storyboarding the actual issue, and of course a notorious silent edition where all the word bubbles have been taken out. I always say this, but just in case anyone out there is not aware of it, Class Comics is very adult, so expect to see lots and lots of gay sex taking place in this. I mean, personally, I think that's a positive, but some people may need some warning in advance. The story's progressed fairly well. The very beginning was confusing with all of the characters being introduced and you being bombarded with a lot of information, but I feel as though it has also come together fairly well. And I'm a huge fan of David Cantero's artwork and storytelling as well, too.
These would be incredibly cool cosplays.
I know these characters need to establish themselves in their own story first, but I would love to see them interact with other Class comic characters later on down the line. But I will end this comic book review at this point. If you're interested in reading this comic book, you want to go to classcomics.com where you can download a PDF version directly from them. And with that, thank you guys for watching me this video. If you haven't done it yet, check out my Patreon site, patreon.com/GeekComicGeek. You become one of my patrons. You get to see extra pictures, videos, and photo shoots that I only show to patrons. Check it out. I'd really appreciate it. And with that, I'll join you guys in the video very soon. Peace, love, and I'll stand. Say hello. Nice. There are several different universes that exist within the Class Comics multiverse. Each universe does seem to have their own versions of animal humanoids. I think it would be really cool to see the animal humanoids that existed in this comic book interact with some of the others, such as the Annie-Males from one of the main superhero comic book universes in Class Comics.